start simply by defining the terms that we need to know, and then we'll move toward to the preparing data, collecting data, and then cleaning the data using spreadsheets, SQL, and programming language R. And into the visualization, we will use one of the most useful like Tableau or Power BI to visualize our data. It's a lot of journey, and we can start simply by defining the data analysis. Simply, data analysis is collection, transforming, organize data in order to make a conclusion, make a predictions, and derive information decision making. So what is this? The data analysis job is to collect, transform, organize data, draw conclusion, make a predictions. There is 6 steps for data analysis process, starting from asking the questions, preparing the data, process, cleaning the data, analyze, where the most important phase, and then share the data, where visualizing, and then act. I'm not gonna go deeper for each one, just gonna give you what is the each step used for. In the ask, you have to ask the stakeholders the most important things. What is the purpose from the uh, what is the problem that you have, and how gonna solve this problem. So deciding which questions to answer in order to solve the problem. Qualify stakeholder expectation means determine who the stakeholders are and what they want, who they are, what they want, the time they give you. Define the problem means looking at the current state and identify the way in which a difference from the ideal state. So you start simply by asking the questions. What your stakeholders who are, what they want from you, what they want from them, and so what is the problem that you need to solve. And then you go for a prepare. For a preparing, you have to, the emphasis is on identifying and locating data. So you can use to answer your questions. You identify and locating data. So what is who responsible for collecting the data? And what is the sources for collecting the data? It is online, it is collected from one source or multiple source. If it's collected from multiple source, and then maybe the format is not the same, so you need to collect the data, archiving in one, make one folder, so and sharing with other. You have to collect the data and transform it to more useful way, like making an Excel sheet, CSV files, multiple data from different source have multiple format. For example, of the temperature in Celsius and temperature in Fahrenheit, you have to unique them. You make them one useful unit, so everyone can easy for the next step to do the process. So prepare is all about you collect the data. If you have one source, multiple source, you check the units, you check everything, so you collect them in one folder and keep it to use. In the process phase is where you clean the data. Cleaning after you collect the data, now you start the process of cleaning. Cleaning the data, merge the data, merge separate sheet to one separate sheet, and also combine two or more data set to make information more complete. Remove outliers. If you have to check if you have misspelling, if you have duplicates in the data, if you have some point or some any difference in this column supposed to be like currents in dollar, you put the general, so you have to identify each column and what is this, then define this column. If it's the column is a number and you put general, so you have to transfer to a number. If it's like in dollar in currency, you have to change it in dollar currency. You have to check, you have to clean the data, duplicate misspelling, and we work on that in more deeper when we start working with separation, and then we go to the SQL. So this is the process when you clean your data. It is so data should be completed and correct, and then you move to analyze. And the analyze phase is the most important thing. Is when you see the value of your data, you see the value that you clean, you separate, you do the cleaning, and then you have to see the value. You see the chart, you see what does this value mean. You do the metrics, you do You do the formula, you do the functions, some functions, you do the average, and then you see the value of your data. And you will use also spreadsheet, SQL, and R also, programming language to do our analyze. So we'll make spreadsheet also, of course, for each one differently. And the share process is where you are ranking the share. So you do the analyze and then you have to do the visualization. It's the most powerful tool for data analysis, where you visualize your data. You transfer it from number to chart. Chart is easy to understand and easy to look for the trend. We'll use also Tableau or Power BI to visualize our data. So it's a lot of process. We start simply by one, but first we need to understand what's the process, each one process mean. We can also do the share. We also do the visualization using R Excel. The last phase is act. When you act, that mean this is for the managers and the stakeholders when they um, take the value from what the data have been working on, and then they make a data driven decision making. If they have to hire new employees, or if to hire to reduce the cost, or they have to, so depending on the data that we are processing, and they have to make act. This is the final stage. Without act, that means our work is have nothing to is nothing, because you have to act, and then your company gonna benefit from this data. So it's the final and very important. Useful definition: data ecosystem. You need like data ecosystem. What is the cloud? What is the data science? What is the data analytics? What is the data driven decision making? This is the cloud where you save your data. Data ecosystem is a various element that interact with one another in order to produce manage. So it's various element. Data science, new modeling, data analytics, the science of data, data driven decision making, that we say in the act, is when you use the fact to guide the business strategy. So using the fact, that means using the data, that the value of your data, to guide the data driven business strategy. So and also, one of the most important things is analytical thinking. Analytical thinking involves identifying and defining a problem, and then solving it by using data in organized step-by-step manner. Analytical thinking, that you define the problem and then you try to solve it, is part of the ask and the asking questions. This is part in the asking question, when you have to identify the problem and try to solve it. And there's a five key aspects for analytical thinking. It's like where you visualize the data, make strategy, problem oriented, correlated, final, take the big picture, and details organized thinking. This is one of the way critical thinking help data professionals determine the right questions to ask in order to arrive at those solutions. So analytical thinking is one of the most powerful tool, one of the most technique in the asking phase, where you ask questions and you have to identify the root cause. So the root cause, why this a problem happen, and there is one of the most important question you should ask is called five ways of asking why. So you have to identify the root cause by asking why multiple times. Why? So why this problem happened? Because something. Okay, why this happened? Because something. Until you find the root cause for the problem, and then trying to solve it. This is one of the most important things, is how you analytically thinking, and you try to solve the problems. Analytical skills that you need to have is, you have the curiosity, you need to learn something different, you know the understanding the context, so you know when the pattern is changed, and understand the context in your data. So if your data is about temperature, you know is the limit for temperature, like in this country between like for 30 to 50. If you find something like 100, so this is that mean, okay, you start analytical thinking, this is there's something a problem in here. And having technical mindset, you separate your problem into small steps and you try to identify the how to solve this problem. Data design is like same as when you organize your contact on your phone. You design your problem and um, you design your problem and how you're gonna solve it step by step. And data strategy is how you manage people and professional tools that you need to use. Decoding these job descriptions. This is that you will job description that you will see it on the internet, LinkedIn, all others job seekers. You'll see business analytics, data analytics consultant, data engineer, data scientist, data specialist, or operation analytics. All these you'll find them in the engine. It's more for it's useful for a job description. And these was the decoding the job description. It's when you people are missed between interpret between data analytics and data scientists and data specialists. The problem solving use existing tools and method to solve problem with existing type of data. For data scientists, invent new tools, and data specialists use in-depth knowledge of data science. So for data analysis, you no need to invent, you have to use the existing tool. For data science is inventing new tools and models. For data specialists use in-depth knowledge of databases as a tool to solve problem. And for analysis, analyze collecting data to help stakeholder. So you analyze. For data scientists, analyze and interpret complex data. For data specialists is organize large volumes of data for use in data analysis or business operation. So these are the difference between data analysis, data analyst, data scientist, and data specialist. Um, these are totally different. Data analysis is have you don't have to invent new models or and he don't need to work with a deep database. Maybe is he work with the existing tools, spreadsheet, R programming language, SQL. You don't need to go for deeper for query or Oracle. You don't work with Oracle database. So data specialist is working with like Oracle database. Data scientist will create a new model or something. But data analyst is working with the existing. This is you have to what is your position in the company or so if you find this information, this is just the beginning. We need to identify the things and then we start our journey by we asking our questions now and we go to the how we prepare and collect our data. I will give you the resource to collect the data and then we start together to cleaning our data. So if you find this information are helpful, please subscribe and leave me comments if you need anything. I will leave this document PPT in the description, in the comment description below. So you can download it and it's very useful to know what the difference between them. If you have any questions, please subscribe and give me any comment. Thank you for your watching.